Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're signing in from. This is Kumar Datatrain with Agile Meridian, and we have another episode of the Meridian Point here for you. And today we're going to be interviewing Youssef Tawfik. I'm not sure if I said the last name right. I'm sure he will correct me. So Youssef is from Cairo, Egypt, and he's a software engineer with a bachelor's degree from Coventry University. He has experience working at Fortune 50 companies. His expertise is mostly in web development and AI automation, and he's founded his own company. He's a founder of Revi Agency, and he has embraced AI automations. And one of the missions of his company is to bring the raw power of AI to small and medium-sized businesses to help the business side grow and be more efficient. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome Youssef to stage here. I hope I did that justice.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
And how do you say your name? Thank you. How do you say your last name?
Tawfik.
Tawfik. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It could go. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So, we've been hearing a lot, especially in the last year or so, about AI. AI has been around for a long time. We just didn't think of it as such, right? So the auto text complete on your phones and browsers, and the ability to generate and make sense of lists, and of course, and all the business intelligence software that's out there to help humans do their work better. But AI really sort of took a different turn over the last year with the release of ChatGPT and all of the variants, the generative AI variants that are out there right now for our use. And most of the companies that benefit from that have been the large companies, right? The mega caps, if you will, the Microsofts, the Apples, well, maybe not Apple so much, they're kind of lagging behind, but definitely Microsoft and OpenAI and all these companies that have invested money to improve how they work and the work products that they deliver to their consumers, the customers. And largely it's left small businesses out to fend for themselves trying to learn how to use ChatGPT and these other tools. And that's where I think what you do is really intriguing. So you help small business use these tools. So maybe you can start out by describing the services you offer and what is it that you provide small businesses?
So honestly, the way we see it is the small and medium guys, they only are getting pushed by, or they're getting bombarded by the SaaS tools that are AI tools, like an AI sales tool or an AI marketing tool, which is really superficial, honestly. And that's what I feel. It's really superficial. Write content with AI. It's not what AI can do. You're just etching to the edge here. You really haven't used it correctly if you're only using it for sales and marketing, right? So therefore, within any business, there are a lot of operational inefficiencies, let's be honest. People writing papers, people going through Excel sheets, people auditing, people doing redundant work. There's a lot of human error involved, right? And I value that human intelligence so much that when I see something that is redundant, you would want to automate that so the human can do something that is way more productive, that can embrace the intelligence and the complexity of any human brain, right? So that's where I see AI really shining. And automation, it's not only about AI, it's also about automating a business in an overall sense, right? So some of the basic tasks, or not even the complex tasks within a business, I call them operational inefficiencies. So we basically try to help business owners and businesses optimize their operational inefficiencies through automations and AI automations. It's never only AI only. The technology is new, technically. It's not there yet, technically. Therefore, you would have to pair it with some sort of automations to support the AI system and to make it do better decisions, I would assume, right? So definitely helping businesses automate using AI, take it to the next level, be more efficient, save on labor costs, free up their minds, delegate to AI. We see a lot of CEOs and having the problems with delegation to tasks. It's amazing. So think of AI as your intern. How can you really make it do the busy work for you? So helping businesses businesses automating their operational inefficiencies using automations and AI.
So you made a distinction between automation and AI, and maybe you can dive into that with some examples. What's, if that's a sort of a stepping stone, is that you automate certain parts of your business, and that leads to then you can use AI to do something with that, or are these two always intricately linked together?
What I like to say that they are linked together.
Okay.
But they might not be, but in our approach when approaching anything, we connect them together because, so for example, we just worked with a contractor, and in the contracting world, there's a huge problem, which is quoting, right? Getting a quote. I'm sure you reached out for a contractor. It took them like weeks to get back to you with a quote, and sometimes they even forget. So we basically help them using automation and software, bring their quoting process and digitalize it into an automated flow using code or using software. So we brought the math, we automated the input by the user, we did the processing in the back end, and we come up with an answer. So that's the automating piece of it, just using code to automate an input, process, and output, right? That's automation. But then how do you really take it to the next step with AI? So with this specific client, we're in the R&D space right now to look to take it to the next level. Imagine a kitchen plan or a bathroom plan. You have a vanity in the middle, it's 50 by 25, there's a sink there, and it's all planned out. We want AI to be able to go in and recognize all of the data in that picture, extract the numbers, do the math to calculate the square footage and the linear footage of that vanity, and then use those outputs, I would assume, put them in variables, and then put it in our automation that we created. So you'll see here AI extracting the data, processing the data somehow, and then passing it by to our automation to generate that quote, just using a picture or a plan.
That's really quite amazing. So you're replicating what the human would do. A human would go through a series of steps to generate a quote and apply their intelligence to, sort of calculate the dimensions of whatever that they're preparing. In this case, the dimensions of the, I don't know, whatever a countertop, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And then do the math and then fill in the quote details with what it would cost the consumer to install that piece of countertop or whatever it might be. But what you're doing is pretty amazing, is that you're having the automation replicate the repetitive steps of the human, and the AI apply the intelligence to the basically extract the dimensions from the picture, do the math, and generate a quote. Wonderful. So what happens then? So this saves the human all that time. What do they do with that?
And it really goes into how it affected the business. We are expecting that this automation would save that business $250,000 yearly just on labor costs. They used to spend around 7 hours calculating a quote, just the calculation part. It's a labor intensive process. There's a lot of human error. They used to get a lot of mistakes. So 7 hours to get a quote. With this process, we brought it down to 1 hour for them to sign. To sign, not even to get the quote, to sign.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. There's a lot of what I do is in my role as a business coach and a executive coach, is help leaders and managers look at how value flows through their part of the organization, and it's a sort of a lean process flow, right? So we sort of decipher what it typically takes, the time it typically takes when an order comes in the door, and how long it takes for that order to process and get shipped out the door. And then we start to analyze all the inefficiencies and all the steps in between those processes. And so it seems like what I do could really blend well with someone like you, sort of give that template to someone like you to automate all of those steps, or as many of those steps as possible, and apply intelligence wherever it's needed to take that process that may be several days or maybe more, maybe longer, and compress that time to a fraction of what it used to take. So it's amazing that I don't know to what extent you can do this. I'm sure that AI is being applied to supply chain logistics and through automations in all sorts of industries. I mean, there's already tons of that out there. I'd love to hear maybe some other examples of how use cases where you've helped small businesses with their AI, their business needs, if you will.
Absolutely. So let's think of an audit heavy process within a business. Let's think of a business that their job is to go into a business, give them a questionnaire for them to fill, like a business coach, something like you do, for example.
Yeah.
You go in, you give them a questionnaire, right? They fill in the questionnaire. It's a really intensive questionnaire, maybe 100 questions or something. Then you take those questions, you sit down, you read all the answers, you generate a report, and then you bring it back to the client.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume a process like this, it would take a minimum of 2 weeks of them filling the 100 questions, and then you sitting down, reading everything, processing the information, writing your thoughts, writing your ideas, and formatting the report and sending it to the client.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're thinking about doing with those heavy or like audit intensive businesses is, why not automate that data crunching part of it using your information and your ways? People think of AI, it's the all-knowing God of everything. It's not. It's really not. The way AI works is it only knows the data you give it.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell it the sky is red, it will, and you ask it what's the color of the sky, it will tell you it's red. Therefore, we work closely with those small businesses in collecting their knowledge and how do they actually interact with the business, or how do they deal with any incoming business? What's their processes? How do they think? How do they process the data? What do they do? What is the expected outcome? What is the expected input coming from the business? We process all of the information and pull it in a knowledge base, and then we allow someone like you, we first of all, then here comes the automation part. We automate and digitalize the data collection part from the client. So we create a form, we automate it, we call the data collection from the client, and then we pass it to an AI model that knows every single thing about what you do and how you do it, so the outcome would be just like you want it. Mm-hmm. So we're bringing in a reporting intensive process where you sit down and you read everything and you do it, and it's really, we take you 90% of the way there. So we use your knowledge implemented in an AI model to go through the information collected by the client, and the AI model generates a report like you do it, and it thinks like you think, and it gets you 90% of the way. All you need to do is just go in, review what it spit out, what needs to be adjusted, and you send it to the client. Therefore, it will reflect into your business more hours. You'll be able to take in way more clients. You'll be way more efficient in your processes. You'll have way more time to think about business development, and it will reflect in a lot of spaces in your business.
Yeah, it seems like a paradigm shift in how small businesses can really become more efficient and more effective in delivering value to their customers. What's been your experience with in terms of demand for these types of services?
It's still fresh. That's the thing, right? People don't really know how to use AI and what are the actual possibilities. Mm-hmm. What we are doing today is educating the people, just giving them a nudge, something that is really small that would just open up their minds. We want the light bulb to light up, basically. So it has been since 2024, 3 months in, 4 months in, if you'd assume, the way I've been doing it, I've been educating people, just giving them those examples. And it usually turns into a light bulb. I have this great idea. Can it do this for me? but people are not educated enough. They only limit themselves to ChatGPT and the sales and marketing tools that are just bombarded on social media. No one really thinks operationally. How can it affect my business in its core rather than just the outskirts?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm thinking about my business as a business coach, agile coach. And I think where AI can be so useful is with the unstructured data, being able to make sense of it. And what you're saying is you can train AI with your data, and it becomes really truly an assistant that knows about you, knows about your business, knows about your clients, knows about everything that you know. As long as it's in some form of data, it can learn, and it can even mimic the way you communicate with them if you give them enough samples of data to train them on, to say, okay, this is what I sound like, and these are what my quotes look like, and these are what my communications look like. And anything that's unstructured, it can make sense of. Am I on the right track?
Yes, absolutely. The core way of how AI works, and that really brings us back to why AI came up now. You said at the beginning, AI has been here for years and years, since, years. Why now? Why did it explode now? It's just because of the vast information that is out there, the greatest library in the human history, which is the internet. It's accessible by everyone, to everyone.
Yeah.
So that's what made AI just boom. It's the vast information. AI only works when you give it data. So Therefore, the internet has so much data. We were able to train it to that humongous, amounts of data. Therefore, that boom happened. That nudge happened. That's why it exploded. And and also the commercialization of the tool, or the commercialization of the technology, it played a huge role of small businesses adapting to it, hearing about it, trying to play with it, getting around using it. So commercialization and data, that's why AI really boomed.
Would you say that, sort of generative AI is where this boom started? And because before that, yes, we had AI, but it was relegated to more automation tasks and things like that, and maybe some of the tools that are out there. I remember I was using this tool before ChatGPT came out. What was it called? Jasper or something. It was it helped you write content, basically marketing. And now, I still have something similar to that, but I hardly ever use it, right? I just go to Chat or Claude, whatever my favorite tool is. But would you say, back to my question, would you say it was the release of these generative AI tools that was the difference, if you will?
Yeah, I would say that, because in 20 we saw a huge boom of technology from 2020 to 2022, which was blockchain, for example, right? It is an amazing technology at its core. It has a lot of use cases within any business, just because of the redundancy and how they store data and a lot of things. But why didn't it continue? Why it kind of fell off, right? It didn't fall off. Obviously, crypto is still alive. A lot of people are using blockchain, obviously, but let's be honest, AI took over and it fell off the public's eye, I would assume, right? It was because it was too complex. The normal person that did not understand technology did not get it, and it did not get commercialized.
Yeah.
No one really understood what was happening, but at its core, it was a beautiful piece of technology, right? But then AI came in. The normal person can just go into ChatGPT and ask them for a recipe. Ask them how to go log in on Facebook or something. It became a personal assistant for everyone, right? That's why it boomed. That's why, in my opinion, especially in the small and medium businesses side.
So what should, if you were to give advice to a small business owner, what would you tell them? What would you have them do? But, if they're interested, oh my God, I want to get in on this AI thing, or if they're not, if they're completely uneducated, what should they do to get more educated and see if it's something that they can use to improve their business?
So for the beginner, I would just say go into ChatGPT, talk to it. Talk to it and ask it some random question. Think of it as the new Google, right? The new face Google. People go in and just ask it a bunch of questions. Ask it to do something for you, and test the power. No one really knows the limit at the moment. The limit is being tested every single day.
Right.
With what NVIDIA are doing, with what other big companies are doing, the limit is just being tested every single day. So test the limit and then think how that can help me in my business. Do I think is there something that I've been just doing and it's just so annoying? We're spending so much time doing this and it's so redundant. Can AI help me? And reference to the examples that I talked about at the beginning, I found them to be inspiring to a lot of people into figuring out ways how to use AI in their business, right? I can never tell you how to use AI in your business. You're the only person that will tell me how to use AI in your business.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right about that. Every business is unique. Every business is different. And I suspect that what you offer is a way to help the business owner with their unique set of data, challenges, problems, to implement some way to automate that, whatever that process is, and apply intelligence along the way to help them do their jobs, better, more efficiently, which is a beautiful thing about this. I wanted to ask you, so, you're currently helping small businesses with their AI needs. And we talked about this before we came on this show. And you mentioned 7 months ago, you were doing something different. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. 7 months ago, it was the start of the breakout for AI in small businesses. Obviously, again, it's there for years and years and years, but people really started to figure out what the heck is going on maybe 6 months ago. We were 6 months ago looking at my bio. Yeah, we were still talking about Web 2.0, Web 3.0, we're still talking about the blockchain. How is it used? It was really interesting topic for people. We're still talking about just normal automations. And looking at my bio from 7 months ago, and looking at where we are right now with trying to be the pioneers into bringing AI for small and medium businesses, it really has changed. Technology changes on a weekly basis. I would say even daily basis. Every day we're seeing new technologies. Every day we're seeing new releases, new tools, especially in AI. Someone just sent me a tool yesterday, an AI model, not related to GPT or OpenAI by any sort, but they're processing pictures in maybe 4 seconds. It's so fast.
Yeah.
It's processing pictures, extracting information, answering any question regarding that picture in just 4 seconds. It's crazy fast.
Yeah. I mean, the whole landscape is changing every day, which brings, the theme of this show is about disruption and innovation. And you're an example, Youssef, and your company, the Revi Agency, of a company that's sort of riding that wave of change. You're surfing the change curve, if you will, right? And what separates you from other companies is that very capability to embrace the change, embrace disruption for the benefit of yourself, your company, and of course, all your clients, right? Who are maybe a little bit behind the change curve. They're not quite riding that change curve wave, if you will, but they're behind it. And so what would you say sets you apart? What is it that says, okay, you know what? The winds of change are coming. We need to change how we do business ourselves and figure out how we can bring AI to the masses. And tomorrow it'll be something else, right? Maybe the Revi Agency starts doing something totally different. What is it? What is that quality, you think?
I think it's the agility, right? Being really agile with what is out there and bringing what is best for our client. It's not only about cutting edge technology. let's be honest. Our last 3 clients came in. They were looking for AI automations. They came into us with an issue. They told us, do you think AI can help me in this? When we looked into it, it's like, no, it can't help you with this. It can help you in something down the road, but for now, this is an automation. This is the straightforward coding part. We need to automate this process, and we can support it with AI, just like we did with a contractor, the example that I gave at the beginning. So it's really about being aware of the cutting edge technology, but choosing how to use it carefully and in the right manner. It's not just about spamming the AI button.
That's a really good point, Youssef, that you bring up, that this is just a tool. AI is just another tool in the tool chest. It's a very impressive tool with what it can do to help people productivity, for the people that know how to use it, know what its limitations are, and know that, and people that know that they still have to sort of check the results of what AI is giving them. But like anything else, it's a tool, and how we wield the tool is what's more important than just going out and saying, okay, let's make us an AI company and do this. I love the way you put that. You don't go in saying, hey, let me give you AI services, even though that's what you're doing now. You're saying, let me help you solve a problem. And you're helping the small business solve a problem with the appropriate tool. It may just be automation. It may be AI and automation. Maybe something else, I don't know, but that's a really good and pragmatic approach to the issues of the small business owner, any business really, right? And there's so many bells and whistles out there, and it's kind of hard to sift for the average person to sift through all the noise and get to the core of the problem. And I love the way you put that. All right, so we're getting towards the end of our time here. What is a question that I have not asked you that you'd like to share with the world?
That's a great question.
What is it? What does the next 6 months look like? I mean, it's hard to predict what the world's going to look like in a year. What does the next 6 months look like for you?
The next 6 months, I think, in the industry as an overall is disruption, because we've had a kind of a monopoly of OpenAI, which is the owner of ChatGPT, the company that owns ChatGPT. It has been a kind of a monopoly for the last year. Everyone is using it, but we're seeing a lot of people coming up from the back end. A lot of open source AI models, like the one Meta provides, for example. With open source information, when you have an open source code, you have the community is able to learn from it, adjust from it, and improve it, and contribute to the code. So I'm seeing a lot of disruption coming, especially in the ecosystem that OpenAI provides right now for all AI development tools. It's nice. It's so, I would say, convenient to use them. But soon we'll be seeing a lot of disruption in that area, and we're seeing new players. Yeah. But for the small and medium guys, it should be a priority for you to start using AI. AI won't come in and replace you, but you will be replaced by someone who knows how to use AI better. Yeah. I couldn't have said it better. I'm sorry. You were going to. Yeah, it's okay. I was saying, therefore, AI has to be a priority in your business development for quarter 2, 3, and 4, everything. You have to look into it. How can I make my life easier, better, faster, and more profitable? Because at the end of the day, it's all about profit, right? Yeah. Don't be afraid from AI being, it's a super expensive tool. No, that's our mission, to bring it to the small and medium guys. Right. No, I love it. I love your message, because, it's something we say all the time at Agile Meridian and my other company, Profit Sensei, is that you either disrupt or you will be disrupted. Right. Mm-hmm. And AI is not going to disrupt you, but the people that use it, that learn how to use this new tool, are going to disrupt you, because they're going to be more prepared to weather the storm, weather the changes, and so on. You want me to tell you something? I've seen businesses now, small businesses, really small businesses, they're able to make the prices go down, and therefore onboard more clients, because they are now using AI, so they're not taking as much resources as they used to. So therefore, they're onboarding more clients, they're way more efficient, and their bottom line has increased tremendously because they're more efficient now.
Right, right. I mean, so they can actually scale up without having to add a lot of human capital, because again, this AI is augmenting their ability to take on more work. So, you know, it is a slippery slope, of course. You know, people are going to be scared about losing their jobs, but I think that there's plenty of work to be had. With every technological advancement in society, this has been the common response. People are like, oh my God, we're going to lose jobs. But what's always happened is that more new jobs have been created than the old jobs taken away. And
I should be afraid.
Yeah,
I should be afraid. They just released the first AI software engineer.
You're right. That's right. Yeah, I saw that. I was going to test it out and see what this guy can do. This AI guy can do, but that's for another day. Well, listen, we're running out of time, Youssef. I would love to talk to you more about the state of AI and the state of the industry. And I'm sure that you won't be put out of work. You seem to be one of those people that are the disruptors, right? You and your company, you tend to have that quality about you where you're riding that crest, that change crest, the change wave, if you will. So surf on and stay strong. I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to work together because I work with small businesses. I don't have the capabilities you do, but maybe together we can join forces and help smaller companies realize the benefits that AI can provide them.
Absolutely, Kumar. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.